We're closed.
You don't look the sort who can afford to turn down legitimate work.
What do you want?
How about we start with a light?
Well, you got a name, miss?
Elizabeth. You can call me Elizabeth.
What can I do for you?
There's a girl who needs to be found. Maybe you've seen her.
This girl. This girl's dead.
You know her.
You'll see dozens of her type down by the docks or the slums in Apollo Square. Orphans. With Fontaine's charity shut. No place for them.
But her you know.
As I said, girl's dead.
Lost.
Look, I don't know where you get...
Lost isn't dead. Name your rate, I will pay you for this work. But you do this one gratis, wouldn't you?
I don't follow.
Something tells me you will. Seems my instincts were correct.
Where's Sally?
I don't know. But I know someone who does. Follow me.
What's this girl to you?
What I need from her is my business. But I know where to start looking. Something tells me a man with your particular talents could be useful.
Ryan, he's a big fish in an awful small pond, you ask me.
Anything you say, pal.
If I was running things, I'd say, why just one city? Why not two?
Oh, I heard about your little friend. Such a shame.
Just a matter of time before Ryan's crews round up anybody talks bad about him. I mean, just look what happened to Frank Fontaine.
What happened to these children? What are they?
Where have you been? Cabin in Arcadia? Little sisters.
Red means
Atom
stop,
factories.
Green means
It's grotesque.
go. This is the rule all little girls know.
Hey, keep moving, buddy.
Compromise? Is that why we came to Rapture? I could compromise in Red Hook.
We're just men and women, Alan. You hold yourself to that standard, you'll never be happy.
In what country is there a place for men like me? Men who refuse to say yes to the doubters and the parasites.
Yes, but even Andrew Ryan takes a vacation.
Come on. We haven't got all day.
What do they even look like under those suits?
What you mean? They're just some kind of machine?
Well, I say you should have to prove you're properly versed on a topic before you're allowed to vote on it. Otherwise, it's just a knee-jerk response from the uninformed. Does more harm than good.
Who would judge that? A system like that invites abuse?
Having a benevolent dictatorship takes care of that.
Benevolence isn't human nature.
Get on with it. Do you have any idea how valuable my time is?
Ryan's been good to me. Few are the patrons who truly understand the struggle of the artist. But even I was a little leery when he shuttered Fontaine's business and sent that bald buck to a grave deep in the briny. But when Ryan buried all of Fontaine's pals in that department store, someone had to find a home for all those freshly minted orphans. And if I turned $1 or $2 in the process, you can hardly blame me for doing well.
Funny.
What?
You're not knowing about the little sisters. How long have you been in Rapture?
Let's just say I don't get out much.
You've got eyes and ears, don't you?
If I wanted to share my life story, Mr. Dewitt, I would write my memoirs. If I learned anything about Rapture, that it was a place where people understood to mind their own business.
The meek can go ahead and inherit the Earth for all I care. I'm fine right here in Rapture.
Where are we headed?
The man we need to see is in the Garden of the Muses.
How do you know?
My sources are my own, Mr. Dewitt. If you have better information as to the whereabouts of your girl, I suggest you avail yourself of it.
Where are you taking me?
When's the last time you saw Sally?
What?
She was taken from you, wasn't she?
How do you know this?
She was taken, down at Surprise. You were playing the tables and...
She disappeared.
And?
Cop friend of mine, Sullivan, says they found her floating in the docks.
You see the body?
Look.
Did you see the body? This world values children, not childhood. There's a profit to be made and men who make it. I'm taking you to one of them. Mr. DeWitt, you all right?
I'm fine. Just get these spells sometimes. It'll pass.
Refreshment, sir? Madam?
We're fine, thanks.
I went through basic with them, decent songs, but the Italians, Papa this and Papa that. They can't take a crap without a papal dispensation.
I told her, you want someone to listen to your worries? Buy a puppy. Me? I got better things to do.
I hope that wasn't your attempt at pillow talk, darling.
Taking over Fontaine's business any different than, say, eminent domain? It's just the hand of government coming down on the individual.
Fontaine was a criminal.
By whose standards? Ryan's? I prefer when the judge doesn't profit off the penalty.
Booker. The Great Chain guides all of our efforts, even if
I don't have all the flaws and drawbacks other people have.
You know, emotions.
We'll find my source inside of that club.
Cohen? What does that lunatic have to do with Sally?
Which business do you represent, sir?
Business?
Yes, which business?
DeWitt Investigations.
Mr. Cohen does not truck with private detectives. Masks of Invitation went to artists and craftsmen alone.
I'm with the artist struggle. We're expected...
No mask, no entry.
Stuffed shirt.
These invitation masks he spoke of, they must have gone out to local artisans.
Well, I guess we'll have to persuade someone to loan us one.
The business of Rapture is business. Says it's sponsored by the Artist Struggle, the Golden Rule, and Rapture Records.
I guess those stores would be as good a place to start as any. What brought you to Rapture?
A man.
Really? You don't strike me as the romantic type.
Wasn't that kind of man.
Then what?
There's a debt that needs repaying.
I've known my share of Shylocks. You're no Shylock.
Wasn't that kind of debt.
Buongiorno, signore.
Days. Her little girl's been missing.
Suchang observed strangest of coincidences. On other side of a window, man in strange hat experimenting on Suchang's own creation. On plasmid. Man name of Fink. Outrage! Theft of intellectual property! But man name of a Fink. Is no fool. Through addition of oxidizing
Invitations to Cohen shows are highly coveted. Nobody's gonna just hand us one.
You think you can figure out a way to distract the store owner while I take a look around?
You just find the mask. Leave the distractions to me.
Two-way street.
Welcome, welcome.
Excuse me. The lady has some questions for you.
Yes, of course.
What is this piece?
It's by Trine, but of course...
Cohen sends those masks out as some kind of dam. Must be somewhere else.
Music does something to me. Especially something in this game. Primal, isn't it? Part of us that exists before thought, before logic, purely sensual.
The finest music touches us in places.
That we never knew existed.
Yes.
Can you turn it up? Oh, it's so... I must go. I must go. Even one more note shall prove my undoing. Any luck?
Nothing. Let's find another shop.
Where to next, Mr. Dewitt? The Golden Rule is just across the way, or shall we go upstairs to the artist's struggle?
Dr. Schyman told me he uses my picture.
Ah, Mr. Dewitt. Back again. And so soon.
Are you in the know? Innovation and competition are what fuel Rapture. But that fuel can be diluted with rumor or flat-out lies. The rumor monger asks, what are these so-called splicing side effects? Well, take a look around you. Do you see anything wrong with your neighbor? The rumor monger asks, why has Tenenbaum withdrawn from the public's eye? Dr. Tenenbaum is a scientific mind unparalleled, even in Rapture. She's no doubt in her lab, toiling away at her next great innovation. I heard she was in cahoots with Fontaine. Merely slander from jealous naysayers. Remember, Rapture competes through innovation, not cheap shots. Bridget Tenenbaum is a woman who represents the best of science and industry. In other words, she's a Rapture gal. Now you know.
How am I gonna get work with my leg all busted up?
You see that dish I walked in with? Well, you give her the star treatment, pal. That'll make it worth your while.
But of course, right away. Interesting, isn't it? An original Sander Cohen. He calls it miasma.
I'm sorry, but I know precious little about art.
How does it make you feel?
I don't want to open my mouth for fear of what foolishness might tumble out.
Would you like me to
find that box?
Oh, would you? Oh, I would like so much to understand.
In this piece, Cohen intended to show us the struggle.
Nothing. Well, only one place left.
You see all that in that little picture?
Yes, in fact.
You've given me so much to think about. I feel a trifle swoony. Would you mind if I return tomorrow for further education?
I shall be here at your service. Until tomorrow.
Nothing?
No. Got one place left, though.
And if that proves to be fruitless?
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Fontaine got taken out by Ryan's goons for one reason.
Ryan understands something fundamental.
I'm not looking to be an obstacle to your accomplishments.
He gets that from his father. No one.
This clown bothering you, man?
Poof! They're all gone. Right.
Are you in the know? The Big Daddy may look imposing, but he's a gentle giant. Do you know all he does for Rapture? These metal jets are the hands that maintain Rapture, digging the foundation out of the seabed and guiding structural supports into place. Where do these metal mysteries come from? Sorry, chum, that's a Ryan Industries trade secret. Now you know.
Welcome.
Hey, pal. You want to help out the little lady?
Yes, of course.
I'm interested in this piece.
Ah, excellent. You've an eye, haven't you, miss? It's a natural sapphire and diamond, 18-karat gold ring, fully hallmarked for Paris, 1887.
Really?
The center cabochon... Excuse me, sir?
That's a lot of fine talk about a stolen ring.
I beg you.
Where is he hiding that
Right
box?
out of her coffin in Twilight Fields. Did you think we wouldn't notice?
I can assure you.
The assurances of a grave robber are of no interest to me. If you hand the ring back, the matter will remain between you and me.
You'll come into my shop and talk this.
I don't think so. Hit the bricks, you tramp, or I'll see to it they hit you.
Get your hands off me! Might be best if we were gone when he wakes up. Good. We've located the mask.
Third time's the charm.
All right. It's best we head back to Cohen's.
Fine piece of work back with those shopkeepers. You've got a bit of the grifter in you.
For that, you can thank my father.
Oh, yeah?
He was a man comfortable in a variety of roles.
Ah, very well. Mr. Cohen awaits your participation at his performance.
So who is this fellow Cohen? Some sort of underworld figure?
Worse. He's an artist.
An artist who kidnaps children.
Cohen's muse is a bit more diverse. I've seen this type. Gets an idea in his head, end a conversation. Don't matter who gets hurt.
Dance, dance, move! Be the conduit! Open yourselves to the music, to the spirit of the eternal! No. Why do you fail in this fashion? To embarrass me in front of my muse? My muse shall not be mocked. Fitzpatrick!
Please!
The stick!
Sander, for God's sake!
My muse shall not be mocked! Get them out of here! There shall be no failure on my canvas. There's no room in Rapture anymore for the artist. Who are you?
Name's Dewitt.
Is that right? My. This one's a real biscuit. Isn't he a biscuit, lady?
I need to ask you a few questions.
Questions? Yes. Yes. It is the work of man to ask. It is the work of the artist to answer.
You've seen this girl, haven't you?
We artists see more than most. You are more than you claim to be, little songbird. Are you not? Watch this one, Dewitt. She'll take you where you don't want to go. But I know the child in that photo is important to you. So many children flit, flit, flit away. I know where the girl is. And I will send you to her. In exchange, all I ask is a dance.
What?
I see something in you two. Art strips away artifice. Show me who you are, and I will show you where you need to
Listen,
go.
Cohen, you son of a bitch.
Mr. Dewitt.
What?
Dance with me.
Come, dance!
I shudder to think what greater price he might care to extract.
Fitzpatrick! Beauty and pain. They can be no more separated than birth and blood.
What do you think Cohen's customers do with the children? Do they?
Sometimes. But those types lack the capital of people like Ryan and Suchong.
That's a blessing.
You saw those little sisters? You so sure? But if Suchong had Sally, I'd know it.
How?
As I tied him to a chair and asked him.
So?
For 15 hours.
I don't know what to make of you, Mr. Dewitt.
Listen, we're not gonna keep...
Fitzpatrick! I see suffering in you. I know how to shine a light on your pain. A moth will become a butterfly.
Mr. DeWitt! Mr. DeWitt! Are you all right?
I'm fine.
You were dreaming. You kept saying your daughter's name, Sally.
She's not my daughter.
I thought...
Pain and beauty. To an artist, they are parent and child.
Cohen?
I'm sending you to find your young one. No need to thank me. I'm not so sure you'll like what you find.
Look.
Fontaine's. Ryan sent the whole thing to the bottom.
But it's a prison now. Why would Cohen have sent Sally there?
I don't know.
Everyone has needs. I merely provide a service for those who have the means to pay. You'll find your little bird in the housewares department.
How many people do you suppose Ryan's got locked up in that place?
Enough. Fontaine had amassed something near an army. Now they're down there, spliced up and wild. All right, there's a dock up ahead.
Takes a cold son of a bitch to do that to a living person.
What's that?
Burial at sea.
You read your residency contract with Ryan Industries? In perpetuity, we're all buried at sea.
Potentially terminal illnesses won't wait until